Hi, it's Mr. Mockby. We're going over the 2020 Structural Engineering for High School in TSA. There is no substitute for reading and knowing the rules and constraints for the event. If you have a question for a judge, you need to know where that rule is and be able to explain it to the judge. You need to be able to know everything like the back of your hand. Here, it's talking about design constraints. One of them is the top of this structure must be flat as if though it were a railroad. It can't be up and down or curved, because that's not realistic to the way a railroad is constructed. The other one is you've got to have your structural drawings done correctly by industry standards for computer-aided drafting or technical drafting. They're going to be the right views on the right size sheets. And so now we look at other materials. The using of the correct materials in the structure is required. Too many materials is too heavy, and so when you get too heavy, when we calculate our efficiency, that really hurts your structure. There are no substructures allowed below the trestle feet, so nothing's allowed to go below this area here from where it rests on the concrete piers. Lamination, which is the gluing of two more pieces of the same size with the grain running in the same direction. That means if you have three pieces of wood that are laid the same direction like that, it is not allowed. What you are allowed to do is you're allowed to have a 1/8 by 1/8 by 1/8, 1/8 by 1/8, and a 1/8 by 1/4 to create an L shape or a rabbet. That looks like this right here, and it is allowed. You are allowed ones like this right here of different shapes. If they were both the same size and shape piece glued together, that would not be allowed. This one right here is a T shape that is allowed, but this piece down here at the bottom of that to make an L would not be allowed. This right here is allowed because those are different shapes also. Lap joints means that the grain patterns are normally at right angles. They have to be a minimum of 10 degrees, which means two pieces of wood going together like this are allowed, this are allowed, that's are allowed. When this angle gets to 10 degrees, you can't be more up and down like that because that's too much of a laminate. The last one on this page right here for construction constraints is the opening. The opening for the boat may be rectangular or arched, but it must be large enough to allow a piece of 4 by 7 pass through it. So it doesn't matter if it's arched here or if it's square here, but it has to have that 4 by 7 test block to pass through. Good luck.